I'm going to go over a couple of disassociation exercises that are stability exercises, one for the hips and one for the lumbar and thoracic spine. So anytime we're doing a rotary activity or a golf swing, there's a firing sequence that has to happen. There's a transfer of power from the hips to the thoracic spine or the trunk into the arms. And that sequence is used on both the backswing and the downswing. So we generate power from the hip, we eventually transfer that power into the thorax or trunk, and then that power ends in the arms, and if you're swinging a golf club, to the end of the golf club. And the same firing sequence back. Where we get into trouble in that sequence is if somebody does not have the ability to engage the hips by themselves or to engage the thorax or thoracic spine by itself. How can we efficiently know when to stop and to transfer that energy from the hip into the thorax, and then when to stop through the thorax and into the arm, and vice versa through that chain? So set up in an athletic stance or your golf stance like you're addressing the ball. We will start with the hip disassociation. So remember, stability means the ability to keep a joint immobilized or completely locked in as we place load on the body. So in this case, we're going to keep the hips stable and we're going to rotate the thoracic spine, disassociate the hips. Arms crossed, palms on the shoulders. We get into our golf stance like we're addressing the ball. The knees are soft. We push through the back pocket slightly. There's a little bit of tension in the hamstrings. We feel our glutes engaged. We're ready to go. We're keeping a straight line ear to hip. Nice neutral spine position. And we're simply going to stay in the box, but we're going to rotate only the thoracic spine, keeping the hips and low back in a nice neutral locked in position. I would suggest starting with a small pattern and then trying to build as much rotation as you can. So that's how we disassociate the hips. Now, same setup to disassociate the thoracic spine and lumbar spine. Same position, same setup. Arms crossed, palms down. Now pretend like your hips are still in that box and rotate your hips side to side without allowing any movement or change in posture from the lumbar and thoracic spine. And if you're not sure if one is moving versus the other, do this in front of a mirror where you can look up or to your side. And that is how you perform the disassociation stability exercises for the hips and thoracic spine.